break with me. Woo! Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you today? Today I'm here with a really requested video. When I did my review on the Urban Decay Ultra Definition Powder Foundation and Concealer, I told you guys that I had discovered like this majestic, magical foundation combination, and a lot of you were like, okay, don't tell me about it, show me. So I'm here to show you guys my current foundation routine. Now keep in mind that this is a foundation routine that I do when I want a full face of makeup. Full blown, I'm talking like I have somewhere important to go, not when I'm gonna go to Target to buy milk, okay? So the reason I wanted to show you guys this combo is because finding the right combination of products is really hard. And usually it's not within a same brand. Usually you find one product here, one product from another brand and all over the place, and then you find your like magic combination. But for me, it actually ended up all being in the same brand. But I think a lot of it has to do with how I moisturize and the tools that I use in order to achieve this magical combination. So in this combo, I do use the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer. And I use this primer because it's a pore filler and it's also a pore or fine line blur. So I really like that. I use the Naked Skin Weightless Ultra Definition Foundation from Urban Decay. I use the Naked Skin Concealer from Urban Decay as well. And I set it all with the Urban Decay Ultra Definition Powder Foundation. All except my under eyes, which I use this NARS loose translucent crystal powder. And I make sure that I use a beauty blender. So I'm going to show you guys how I achieve this look in a little demo, and then I'll be right back to tell you why I use all these products. What is the first step to this super magical unicorn combination? It is the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer. You either love this or you hate it, and fortunately I'm one of those that it actually worked for me. And the problem with this primer is that it's kind of a jerk. It doesn't work with all moisturizers. So this primer is very thick. You can see it's almost like a Play-Doh. And basically what it does is it fills in the pores and it also blurs imperfections. So it is a filler and a blurrer. So it's the best possible combination for a primer if your concern isn't oily skin. This primer is amazing. So make sure that you use a compatible moisturizer or you're gonna hate it. It's gonna flake up, it's gonna roll into like little taquitos on your face, and it's just gonna be gross. So you see there's absolutely no residue on my face. So loving this primer. It's a little pricey, but it does last a long time. The next step in this super awesome, crazy, magical, powerful combination, let's just move on, is the foundation. And this foundation, I swear, I discovered this foundation 2 years ago, maybe? 2 years or more, maybe 3 years ago. And after I discovered it, I was like, what have I been doing with my life? This is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Ultra Definition Liquid Makeup. This is a foundation that is medium buildable coverage. If you don't have, very many concerns, it'll literally look like full coverage on your skin, but it won't feel like it. It's super lightweight. It's amazing. Oh my, I just can't describe how perfect it is. And you guys, I am so ignorant. This is why you need to read the packaging. Always read the packaging, and most products come with instructions. Did you know that? Inside the box, inside the box of your foundation, there are instructions. So open up that little booklet and read it. I just learned that this foundation has like anti-aging benefits. That's probably why I like it so much. That's probably why I look like this. So I just put one pump on the back of my skin, and I put my beauty blender in it, and I just bounce it on my skin, just like that. I just bounce it, bounce it, bounce it. If you don't like the smell, like a chemically smell in your foundations, you're not gonna like this foundation. It has a really strong fragrance of like, I wanna say paint, but not like auto body shop, but like paint. It does smell like paint a little bit, but I really like it. I can get past certain things like that smell, and it doesn't linger or anything. If it makes my face look fly, I will put it on. If it smells like poop, I won't. I'm just kidding. You're totally gonna record that and use it against me, aren't you? So that is this half of my face done. And you can see that it didn't make my skin look perfect. You can still see some blemishes peeking through, but it made my face look better. And that's something that's really important with foundations. You want a foundation to look like your skin looks good, not like, hey, I'm wearing foundation. And this is one of those foundations that's super thin, super lightweight. I think this is one of the very first foundations that I tried that had almost like that serum-like texture to it, or viscosity. It's very serum-like, so if you put it on your skin, you can see it's kind of dripping down. I'm in the color 3.0 for reference, and if you kind of lose me along the way, I'll have all of these products and tools listed in the description box below. So that is this half done, and you can see, I mean, I don't feel like I'm wearing anything. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and I'll be right back. So for reference, this foundation comes in different shade denominations, I guess you can say. If it ends in 0.0, it is neutral to warm undertones, and if it ends in 0.5, it is neutral to pink undertones. So you kind of get started finding your foundation there. I have heard several people complain that their color selection is not very good, and I can honestly agree with you 100% because their concealer selection is atrocious. It's either way too light or way too dark. I am in the shade light warm, and it's really light. And if I go one step darker, it's really dark, and you can actually see it on my skin. So their selection is a little tricky, so you want to make sure you take your time, or you might even be in between shades, which is kind of an inconvenience. But a really big plus about this foundation is that it doesn't dry really fast. So if you are a beginner, or if you like to take your time with makeup, you like to slowly build it up, it allows you to do that. It doesn't just dry on your face immediately. And it is a demi matte finish, so it's going to give you that oil control look, but it's not going to feel drying or look too dry on the skin. My mirror is having its little party over here, lighting up and down. So I really like it. Oh, you guys, and with these two together, best combination ever. After I do that, and you can tell my skin is already dry, I go in with concealer. And this is like my full face makeup look, okay? This isn't like, oh, I'm gonna go buy milk. If I go buy milk, I barely put concealer on my panda eyes. Barely. So I take my concealer in the shade Light Warm, and I'm just going to put that on my under eye. And like I said, this is when I have something to do. Lately, I have been running into so many of you in public places, and I look like I'm carrying my casket behind me, you guys. I am so pregnant. I'm so tired. I don't even do my mommy face anymore. I just roll out of bed. I normally don't put on this much concealer. Like I said, this is just for my full face. I'm not about the Kim Kardashian under eye look, but it does, you know, it does make a big difference. So when I use this concealer, I do like to apply a little bit more than I normally would. I normally don't do like all that craziness. I don't highlight in my forehead and all that stuff. I used to do it a lot, you know, the whole YouTube persuasion, but no, not anymore. You do want to get yourself a beauty blender, you guys. I know that there are so many alternatives to the beauty blender, but there is nothing like it. Maybe the Real Techniques one, maybe, but there is nothing like it. And I know it feels like an investment up front, $20 for one sponge, but my first beauty blender lasted me a year. A year. I know it sounds gross, but you wash it, you maintain it, you take care of it properly, and it will last you forever. And there is nothing that compares to the finish that a beauty blender gives you. So I use it to bump in my concealer, I use it to bump in my foundation, I use it to apply a really fine, thin layer of powder. It is amazing, and it doesn't soak up the product, so it's totally worth the investment. Set my under eye, I only use one product, and the only product that I use is the NARS Translucent Crystal Loose Powder. After you try this powder, your life will never be the same again. You will try so many different powders and you'll be like, sorry, it's not the NARS Translucent Crystal. And you can see how much I'm putting on. And I like to overdo it in my under eye on purpose because I always do my eye makeup after. And if I put a little bit more than I need to, and I have some fallout, I just kind of brush under there gently and no messing up my makeup. So it's kind of a tip. It's like a 2-for-1. Plus, you can't overdo it with this powder. It's just, oh, it's perfect. It's like, oh my God, it's like a unicorn baby's first haircut in powder form. It's just, can you see what I'm talking about? No, you probably can't. It's amazing. So I just apply that to my under eye. Sometimes I go down the center of my nose, my forehead, and my chin, because those are areas that I want to blur. And this powder, the reason behind this powder, why it's so amazing, is because it reflects light out. So you see how my under eye looks like it's like glowing, like it's like turned on. So it reflects light the opposite direction. It doesn't accentuate fine lines or settle into creases or anything like that. And then I take the Ultra Definition, I think it's called, Ultra Definition Powder Foundation in Light Warm as well from Urban Decay. It's like an Urban Decay party right now. And I will either take my Real Techniques 100 or my Real Techniques blush brush, and I will put powder to set the other areas where I have foundation and I didn't use the NARS powder. And because this is a powder foundation, I don't overdo it. So I just put it here, bring it down my neck, and then I put it over here, bring it down my neck, a little bit on my chin, under my lip, my nose, sides of my temples, and my forehead. And that is the magical unicorn majestic foundation combo that I have been loving lately. I know when I did the review, you guys were like, show us how to do it and shut your mouth. So this is how I do it, you guys. It's amazing. It's going to give you flawless face, and it's not gonna feel like you're wearing anything on your skin. These are like the most lightweight products ever, and your skin is still going to look natural. Now, obviously, you need to finish everything else, so I will be right back. So you guys can see that my face looks pretty much flawless, but I don't feel like it looks cakey or heavy or like, oh yeah, that girl's wearing ultra duty, super heavy foundation. It just looks really natural. And that's the reason why I really like these Urban Decay products. They're absolutely phenomenal. Now, one of the key products in making my face look like it does is the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer. This is a pricier primer, but it's definitely worth the price, and it's going to last you quite a bit. It's thick, so it will fill in areas of bigger pores, but it also has a technology to blur your imperfections. So it's almost like a hybrid between a pore filler and a pore blur. So really like this primer. And when I use this foundation, even though it's really thin, lightweight, medium, demi-matte foundation, I use it with a beauty blender, and that makes sure that the beauty blender makes sure that it bounces the product right into the perfect areas, and it just creates a smooth, like flawless canvas. So it's important to find the right type of foundation for you. I know I'm a preacher of heavy duty, full coverage foundations. Like if I'm gonna go through the trouble of applying a foundation, I want full coverage. But if you can find a foundation that's not going to weigh down your skin, it's going to be comfortable, it's going to cover where it needs to, and it has anti-aging benefits, I'm all for it. So I love that foundation. This is probably like the 4th or 5th bottle that I've purchased. I love this foundation. I absolutely love it. If you told me you could only use one foundation for the rest of your life, that would be the one. This new concealer I really like because you could see the under eye area is really highlighted, but that's because of the color selection that I used. If you are a fan of MAC's Pro Longwear Concealer, it's almost an identical formula, I would say. It's the only formula that I can think of that's similar to this one. The only difference is this one has an applicator on it. You don't have to pump it out. And I know with the MAC one, you waste a lot of product. The pump is like enough for like 8 eyes, and you don't want to waste that much product. So with this one, you have really good control over how much you use, but the shade selection is atrocious. They don't have that many shades, and between colors, it just gets really dark right away. So it's kind of hard to find your shade in this match. I really hope they'll expand the line because it's a really awesome formula. This is also almost like a demi-matte finish, so you do set it with a powder and it gives you that really flawless look. And you can tell that it kind of bounces off the light. The light reflects off of my under eye, but that's because I use the NARS translucent crystal. Obviously, this is an expensive foundation routine, but I haven't found anything similar in regards to quality or type of product at the drugstore, like a combination. So I love the loose version of this powder. This has lasted me for more than a year, and it's because I only use it in like on my under eye area. It'll last you forever, and it's look at, I mean, you can't even tell I have panda eyes. And then the last product that I use to set my foundation is their powder foundation. This is already a powder foundation. You could use it on its own as a foundation. You could use it wet or you could use it dry. But on its own, with a really light hand, it leaves your face feeling so soft and silky and flawless. I can't say that enough. I'm gonna title this video Flawless Foundation Routine, Lightweight Flawless Foundation Routine, because these two in combination are awesome. And I love the fact that I can invest in a powder like this, that's a powder foundation, that I could use it on its own, that I could use it as a setting powder, that I could use it wet. You know, it's giving me a lot of options. So it's not just gonna sit in my makeup and have one purpose like my NARS powder. I don't care that you have one purpose. I still love you, okay? You're still one of my favorites. But it's not gonna be one purpose. You know, it's gonna have multiple purposes, and that's always a really great thing when you're trying to build, you know, your makeup repertoire collection. So that is it for my current foundation routine. I really hope you guys found it useful. Remember that I have normal skin. Normal, a little dry right now. This pregnancy is driving me crazy. So it's such a great combination. I really hope you guys will find it. I really hope it'll be your magic combination as well, I swear. So I'm going to list and link all of these products in the description box below, along with prices where you can find them, like I always do. So I really hope you guys will find that beneficial. And I think